everyone, I'm Lily. Today I'm going to read a story. The title of this story is Anya Out with the King. Bratislav was a poor shoemaker. He was very proud of his daughter, Anya. He boasted about her all of the time. My daughter is wiser than the king advisor. Perhaps he is even wiser than the king, he told all who would listen. Eventually, the king heard about Bratislav boasting. He ordered him to the palace. How dare you say such a thing? The king roared angrily. A girl who is wiser than my advisors? Wiser than me? It is true, Bratislav said trembling. The king whispered to a servant. The servant left and returned with 30 eggs. If your daughter is as wise as you say, the king said, tell her to hatch chicks from these eggs. I'll give you a bag of gold if she succeeds, but come back with the chicks and you will be banished for a year. The terrified shoemaker took the eggs to his daughter. Anya looked at them and laughed. These eggs could not be hatched, father. They are boiled. Then I will be banished, Bratislav moaned. Don't worry, Anya said. She borrowed some beans and took them to her father. The next day, Bratislav waited until he saw the king's carriage traveling down the road. He then went outside and began planting the cooked bean in his garden. The king watched Bratislav and smiled. Why are you planting borrowed beans? The king said. They won't grow. Sire, my daughters say we can indeed grow boiled beans, Bratislav said. Especially if you, the king, can command chicks to be hatched from boiled egg. The king was surprised that the girl responded to his challenge in such a smart way. He gave Bratislav a bag of gold to reward the girl's clever thinking. The king wanted to outsmart the girl. He handed Bratislav a small square of cloth. I'll give you more gold if your daughter makes sails for a large ship from these few inches of cloth, the king said. She must complete the task within a week. If not, you'll be banished for 5 years. What do we do now? Bratislav moaned. Don't worry, Anya said. It will be fine. The next day, Anya gave her father a small piece of wood. Tell the king that I will gladly make the sail, she said. But first, he must use this wood to make a large ship. I will then fit the sail into that ship. The king was astonished at Anya's daring response. He realized the girl must be as clever as her father had boasted. The king handed Bratislav a cup. Tell Anya to empty the water out of the ocean with this cup. If she succeeds, I'll marry her. If she fails, you'll be banished forever. The shoemaker went home and told Anya of the latest impossible task. Bid me farewell, my good daughter, Bratislav said sadly. The king say he marry me? Anya asked. She was thrilled. Trust me, father. You won't lose your home, but you might lose your daughter. The next day, she gave her father several ropes. "Tell the king I'll empty the ocean," she said. "But first he has to use these ropes to tie up all the rivers that flow into the ocean." Bratislav delivered Anya's message. The king then asked to meet the girl. She was plainly dressed but still tall and fearless. He saw too that she had a bright smile. Her eyes were strong and clear. Was she really the one who sent me the wedding messages? He asked himself. The king decided to give her one last test. "What sound can travel the farthest?" he asked the maiden. "Thunder," Anya answered. "It can be heard in both heaven and earth. Your royal command also travels far. It goes around the world on the lips of your subjects." The king was now convinced. He knew that Anya would be a queen worthy of the throne, and Anya was clever enough to make sure that they lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.